Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Stroh Center. We're a senior afternoon, I should say, game of basketball with the Falcons taking on the Ball State Cardinals. My name is Foster Rostai. With me today is Holden Ruck. And let's just talk about the seniors before we tip off. DeJon Humphrey and Marcus Johnson both honored before the game starts here. DeJon Humphrey, 2 seasons at Holy Cross, then transferred to Golden City Community College for a season before landing here at Bowling Green. And Marcus Johnson, starting at multiple different community colleges, Parkland College before Wheeling for 2 seasons, and now landing at Bowling Green, leading the Falcons in scoring and 6th in the MAC in scoring.
And Foster, their impact on this team is something that you really can't overstate, and I think it speaks a lot to 2 things. Number one, sort of the nature of the mid-major basketball that we're going to have to get used to at programs like Bowling Green, where you're going to have guys coming into the program and figuring out how to mesh together and make their mark year in and year out. And it also speaks to the coaching effectiveness of Todd Simon and what he's been able to do to bring these guys together from so many different levels and put together a team that, even in the face of serious adversity all year, can still compete.
You're absolutely right, Holden. This team has faced many injuries. They've had a rough season because of those injuries, but they have found a way to just fight around and stick around in the MAC. They're not out of it yet. They're 9th in the MAC standings right now. They can still sneak in with 3 games remaining here. They would like to make it 3 in a row. They beat Toledo and Eastern Michigan, both games on the road at Toledo in the Savage Arena and at Ypsilanti in the George Gervin Center. They have a big test ahead of them with this Ball State team, though.
They do, but you have to think, looking at their slate, that the toughest of it may be behind them. You have your destiny in your hands right now. With 3 straight wins, they would leapfrog Western Michigan for that final spot in Cleveland for the MAC tournament.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a little bit before we got on air, but the number one thing for this Falcons team is going to be turning defense into offense. Holden, we talked about it. What do you got?
That's right. You look at the defensive performance of the Falcons, and that's what's caused them to be successful in recent games. In particular, you look at a team against an Eastern Michigan team on the road where Eastern Michigan has Jalen Terry and Deshaun Nelson, who are the 1st and 3rd leading scorers in the Mid-American Conference this year, and they held them to a collective 32% shooting.
Yeah, and that's to do that against 2 high-level scorers with the injuries you've had and the way that you have to play is huge for this Falcons team, and they're going to have to do a lot of that defensive tonight because Ball State, as we talked about, has the 5th, and Jeremiah Hill is the 5th leading scorer in the MAC at 16.1 points a game. So you're going to have to find a way to slow him down, but find a way to slow down the team as a whole.
Yeah, they're certainly not lacking firepower at all, this Cardinals squad. But you have to think that they're going to be able to lean heavily on somebody who's been very strong for them, Javante Campbell, who even playing with a broken hand has been an absolute steals machine for the Falcons this year. Yeah,
the one-arm machine. He's got 5 steals at Eastern Michigan, which broke the record for steals in a single season for Bowling Green, which was just a huge accomplishment for him. But he also had 25 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. He's not just doing it on the defensive end. He's doing it all around, and that is what's been really powering this team into such an amazing day. But we cannot take anything away from Derek Butler, who's done a little bit of everything. Off the bench, starting lineup. Last game, 3 from 8 from 3. He's done a lot, and he's been very helpful on the offensive end, but also he's just a very willing defender who's going to get down and stay in the stance.
It's a fascinating progression, Foster, that we've seen throughout this season because earlier on you were looking at who would be making the impact. You know, lots of new transfers on this squad. How is Todd Simon going to mesh them all together? And you look at guys like Sam Towns, then goes out with injury. You look at Yo-Yo Kayat, now goes out with an injury. Trey Thomas, the floor general, as Coach Simon has called him, now out with injuries. At times, you look at Marcus Johnson in particular against Michigan State in East Lansing. Looks like he's a guy. And then you've got Derek Butler and Javante Campbell, you know, each taking their own turns, kind of being the guy for the team. And they're really showing they can win in a variety of different ways. They don't have to have one guy beat the guy, but they have to play true to who they are. And as we said, it's going to start with that defense.
Yeah, it starts with the defense, but one of the biggest things is rebounding for this Falcons team. They've struggled rebounding a little bit at times. Last game against Eastern Michigan, they gave up 14 offensive rebounds. They cannot do that tonight against Ball State. Really, you can't do that against any team in the MAC and hope to win, but they did enough to win that game. What is your biggest thing that you want to see the Falcons take on today?
I think they just need to play true to themselves, make the most of the possessions that they have. It sounds like a simple enough thing to say, but you have a strong advantage when you've got players like Javonte Campbell, and when you've got strong, suffocating defense that can get you more chances, but you can't squander those chances. You can't take bad looks. They really need to focus on moving the ball around effectively. You know, we've talked about the lack of Sam Towns in particular. You know, they don't have as much post presence as they might like to have underneath the rim, and really I think the movement is going to be incredibly important for them to make sure they're maximizing their possessions, because if your biggest strength is getting those extra possessions and you're not able to capitalize on them, you're not going to be able to win in those close fashions that we've seen them win in.
Yeah, and they've done a very good job. Jahmai Felt jumping onto the scene this year as the rim protector that he is. He's second in the MAC with blocks at like 1.9 a game. He's done a very good job being thrust into a position that he's not used to, being a starting center. So he's done an amazing job filling in, but he's still young and he's still learning a lot about himself as a player. But one thing I can say about watching him play so much this season, he is such a willing rebounder on the offensive end, getting second chance opportunities for the Falcons. And as the game gets ready to start, we'll go over our starting lineups here real quick. Holden, let's see who's playing for Ball State today.
That's right, Foster. For the Cardinals, we've got numbers 1 through 5 starting. So number 1, guard Jamari Hill. Number 2, Ethan Britton Watts, starting guard. Number 3, Mickey Pearson Jr., a 6'8 forward. Number 4, Wansi Gorosito, junior guard. And number 5, starting at center, senior 6'10, Peyton Sparks. And so they're certainly not lacking the size there for the Cardinals.
And for the Falcons, it's nothing new. Javonte Campbell, John Humphrey, Marcus Johnson, Derek Butler, and Jahmai Felt as we're underway. And Ball State wins the tip. We have Ethan Britton Watts starting the ball, swings it over. The ball is down low to Peyton Sparks, who gets it out. And their first shot is a miss for Ball State, with John Humphrey getting the rebound.
Brings it up a little off mark there.
Hands it off to Javonte Campbell, who's up at the top, goes left for the stream from Felt. Marcus Johnson getting set up down low on the right side block as the Falcons do go towards Ziggyville to start the game. Marcus Johnson with a little hook and in to start the game for the Falcons. A Marcus Johnson hook shot down in the paint.
Marcus Johnson got size, is really important. You're going to have to utilize that against this lineup.
Yeah, and Marcus Johnson starting down low is big for him because he likes to start inside out. As the Ball State Cardinals will get the ball down to the block and are moving the ball around really well. Jamariah Hill on the left side. Now over to Sparks. Oh, that's Pearson's Jr., my apologies. Down on the block with Javonte Campbell guarding him. As Gorosito gets the ball on the left-hand side. A step-back 3 off the side of the backboard and falls into the hands of Marcus Johnson. As he brings it up the right-hand side, over to Humphreys, now to Butler. Butler to Campbell. Campbell brings it up to the middle of the court. Now gets another screen from Felt. Butler on the far side, left-hand side. Looking for Marcus Johnson on the left-hand side block. Marcus Johnson gets doubled and throws the ball a little too high for Derek Butler. Turnover on the Falcons.
They just kind of let Johnson get stuck in the corner there, and he wasn't able to get it out of there. Unfortunate break for the Falcons.
That's something that the Falcons got to call out early. They saw that double team coming. Someone has to move so Marcus can find an open passer. As Pearson Jr. now is going to pass it in for Ball State right in front of the Falcons bench. They get it over to Jamari Hill. Now up top to Britton Watts. Over to Gorosito. Now to Sparks down low. Sparks over to Jamari Hill in the right-hand corner. And he misses. Jahmai Felt ends up with the ball. Butler brings it up the right-hand side. Now to Campbell in the middle of the court. Campbell goes right-hand side. Gorosito guarding him. They wait for the play to start up. Butler gets a screen from Marcus Johnson and Jahmai Felt. Butler now sets a screen for Campbell. Campbell gets a huge screen from Felt. Campbell kicks it out to John Humphreys in the corner for 3. Dijon's no good. And Gorosito now has the ball. Dijon picks him up. Pearson Jr. for 3. No good. And Felt gets the rebound.
Nice board from Felt.
Yeah, off to Campbell, who's bringing it up the right-hand side. Rejects the screen from Felt. Passes it up to Humphreys in the middle. Humphreys passes off to Butler on the left-hand side. Butler takes it to the paint, backs up. Gets a screen left-hand side from Felt. Butler step back, long 2. No good. And off the Falcons, out of bounds. Ball State will control now.
Both sides not positioning super well in the offensive rebound standpoint. And, you can see that in the 2-0 score right now.
Yes, as Britton Watts now brings it up the side of the court, right down the middle, off to Pearson Jr. Now to Hill. Falcons kind of in a 2-3 zone now. Campbell gets a hand on the ball from Hill, trying to pass it down low. Marcus Johnson passes off his defender. Sparks. As Pearson Jr. gets a little hook to fall in the paint to tie the game up at 2-2.
Pearson Jr. getting the Cardinals on the board after starting 0 for 2 from the line.
Yeah, that's that 2-3 zone we talked about a little bit. Falcons like to go into it. Now Marcus Johnson has the ball on the right-hand side, takes it down low through the contact and finishes and gets 2 points right back for the Falcons. As the Falcons have the ball down low to Sparks, who finishes very easy to lay up right around Felt.
The Falcons' defense sort of just let Sparks get right open there.
As Campbell now has the ball on the right-hand side. He's going to take it towards the middle of the court. Wait for something to set up. Butler gets a screen from Felt. Felt takes it deep down low, but he traveled, looking for a pass to Felt. Can't have that if you're Falcons. You need to execute on every pass. As now Pearson Jr. will pass in the ball to Hill.
And it's early, but it once again feels like the Falcons were forced to just pass into an area where they couldn't.
The Falcons are now in a 1-3-1 zone. Hill on the right-hand side, picked up by Campbell at the top. Over to Gorcito in the corner, pump fake, steps aside, nails the three. That's what he does best. He's a three-point shooter.
Clean move there, had Jemai Felt flying past.
Campbell now has the ball on the right-hand side again. Passes to Felt at the top of the key. Passes now to Marcus Johnson. Gets a screen from Felt. Misses the three-point shot. Rebounded by Hill, who pushes the ball up the court with speed. Pass to Gorcito. Another pump fake. Pass it back to Hill at the top of the key. And the shot is no good with Dejon Humphrey getting the rebound.
Great effort there by Humphrey.
Dejon pushes it up the court. Gets a screen from Felt. Looks for Campbell on the left-hand side. Now Marcus Johnson in the left-hand corner. He lets up three go, and it's good. Marcus Johnson nails the three in the corner with a hand in his face.
And in this early frame, we've already seen the versatility of Marcus Johnson. 4 points inside, now a three.
And Gorcito gets the ball up top, passes down to Sparks, doubled, back over to Pearson Jr. makes the little floater in the lane. Campbell brings the ball up the court at the right-hand side. Looking for a screen from Jemai Felt. Going to get one from Derek Butler, though. Now gets one on his left-hand side, rejects it, gets the ball up top to Derek Butler. And there's going to be a foul called on number 2, Ethan Britton-Watts. And we're going to have a first media timeout here on the court. You've been listening to Bowling Green versus Ball State Cardinals on Falcon Radio.
Falcon Hockey welcomes Lake Superior State to the Slater Family Ice Arena for the final series of the regular season on Friday, February 28th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Tyler Cavalic on WBGU 88.1 FM beginning at 6:45 p.m. for pregame.
Falcon Hockey seeks to end the regular season strong against Lake Superior State on Saturday, March 1st. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and special guest Joe Bornstein at 6:45 p.m. for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And welcome back to the Stroh Center. The Falcons are trailing 9-7 in this game with 14:33 left in the first half. Holden, we've seen it. It's been a lot of defense to start the game. What is going on for the Falcons?
Well, yeah, the Falcons' defense is definitely keeping it a tight game, 7-9, like you said. But what really sticks out to me is Marcus Johnson starting off hot. He's 3 for 4 from the field, specifically 1 and 2 from the three-point line. And that's big for a player who only had 2 points in their last contest, a win over Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, we'd like to see him keep on going, keep the offense moving. I'd like to see some other Falcons start helping him on the offensive end, getting into open positions, getting into shots that they like to take, getting Campbell downhill, getting those tough layups that he loves to make. So that's what I'd like to see. And for Ball State, they've been doing a lot of ball movement. Falcons have kept Hill out of the game, though. 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Those are the only 2 shots he's taken, and he has 1 rebound in 6 minutes, so they've done a good job cutting off the leading scorer for Ball State so far.
And that's what we're going to have to keep doing. Like you said, the defense is really the identity of this team of late, and for them to be successful, that's what they're going to have to run through.
As Derek Butler will inbound the ball here as he gets ready, and the ref sets everything up. Make sure everybody's on the court. Derek Butler gets the ball, and he's going to inbound it straight over.
Wilkins Jr. exact now in the game for Marcus Johnson.
Good catch. As Campbell now has the ball at the middle of the court. Marcus Johnson flashes up to the middle, right at the free throw line with Pearson Jr. on him.
That's Jemai Felt that subbed out, pardon me.
Marcus Johnson is taking it to Pearson Jr. right now. Taking it down low, goes through the contact, gets a lot of contact, no call from the ref, and the bucket is no good.
Nearly had his own rebound, but Peyton Sparks able to get a hand on it there and take it away.
Falcons back in that 1-3-1 zone as Britton Watts is at the top of the key, passes over to Pearson Jr. Now down to low to Sparks, who's got Marcus Johnson on him, and he misses the layup. The ball ends up in the hands of Derek Butler, who's bringing it up the left-hand side. Slows it down. Makes a couple moves, passes out to the top of the key for Marcus. Now over to Campbell, who's going to get right into the center of the court and set up the play. He's going to get it. Looks like a screen. No screen. Yeah, now here's the screen from Wilkins Jr. exact. So Marcus gets down low. Campbell misses the layup. A little hooked layup there.
Some good defense from the Cardinals there.
Pearson Jr. wide open 3 and is good. Off a missed shot, they ran that up the court.
Third take from distance for Pearson of the game and finally connects.
Yeah, if you give them enough open shots, they'll make it. Now Javante Campbell has the ball up in the middle of the court. Passes it off to Wilkins Jr. exact on the right-hand side. He's going to hand it off to John Humphrey, over to Derek Butler. He's going to cut towards the middle. Go up, get blocked. Ball's going to stay with the Falcons. It is 12-7 right now with 12:58 left to play in the first half.
And the Cardinals playing really strong in the paint, really limiting. I'm a little bit surprised. It felt like on the back-to-back possessions of turnovers where Marcus Johnson was driving on Peyton Sparks and then the opposite, Peyton Sparks driving on Marcus Johnson. A lot of contact there, but no whistle either way.
The refs are really letting him play as Jemai Felt checks in, and so does Braylon Green as Butler and Marcus Johnson will both sub out. Ball to Campbell in the right-hand corner. He's going to drive low. Up and through some contact. No foul, and he missed the shot. And as the ball goes down low and now is turned over, Wilkins Jr. exact ends up with the ball, and he's bringing it up the left-hand side of the court. That's over to Campbell. He's going to get a screen from Felt. He sets it up to the right-hand side. Felt screen. Gets it down low to Felt, and a foul is going to be called on number 33, Jeremiah Hernandez. That will be the first foul of the game. No, that's the second. My apologies. And it'll be a Falcon inbounds underneath as Campbell will inbounds it. And as Pearson Jr. subs out, it will be number 24, Mason Jones, who takes his spot.
The lineup remaining the same for the Falcons.
Campbell out to Felt. Tipped and going now to the Ball State Cardinals. A little confusion over there. No, it will stay with the Falcons, it said.
They seemed a little unclear on that one.
I was just as unclear as it. The lead ref there initially signaled Falcons and then switched it to Ball State and then switched it back. Braylon Green will inbounds the ball. Javante Campbell will come up and get it. Get a screen to his right from Felt. Stop on a dime. Take it back down low. Passes out to John Humphrey on the right-hand side. He's going to take it down through some contact. No foul. Offensive rebound by Wilkins Jr. exact. Over to Campbell. Screen going to his left. Javante Campbell for 3. No good. Rebounded now by Ball State with Gorsito bringing it up. He slows it down. Passes it over to the right-hand side. Now Hill's got it on the top. Hernandez has it, now Hill. Over to Gorsito at the top. Down low to number 34, Ben Hendricks. Oh, Ben Hendricks with a great move on Jemai Felt to get an easy layup. The ball now is in the hands of Javante Campbell. as he waits for Jemai Felt to set up the offense. He's going to get a double screen going to his right from Exact and Felt. And he's on the right-hand side. He's going to go up with the incredibly hard layup. Offhand over the defender, Javante Campbell for 2.
Ball State's Mason Jones all over him, but Campbell not denied there.
Now Hill has the ball at the top of the key. Over to Gorcito on the left-hand side. Back over to Hill, who takes his spot. Up top, now number 24, Jones at the top. Hill for 3, no good. Offense, no. Oh, Exact comes out of with the loose ball. And he misses the layup, but he gets his own rebound and finishes.
Big for the Falcons there, now cutting the lead to only 3, 11-14, with about 10:40 left in this first half.
Gorcito has it on the left-hand side, up top to Hernandez. Down low to Jones, no good. Exact with the rebound. Dejon Humphrey bringing it up on the right-hand side, now over to Exact. Exact's going to get a screen from Felt. Gives it over to Braylon Green on the left-hand side. Green sets it up in the middle of the key. Gives it off to Felt. Off back to Green. Braylon Green misses the layup with a lot of contact. These refs are really letting him play today. Gorcito brings it up. Loose ball back to Gorcito. He takes the layup and he makes it. Jemai Felt will inbound it to Javante Campbell. Campbell bring it up on the right-hand side. Looks to get it down to Exact. Back to Campbell. Campbell makes a couple of moves, gets inside, gets rejected by number 24, Mason Jones. Over to Hill, over to Hernandez now. Jones back up to Hill. Over to Gorcito. Down to number 34, Brandon Hendricks. Oh, loose ball. Braylon Green brings it up in the middle of the court. 3 Cardinals pick him up. So everyone gets back and sets up. His Exact sets up the offense. He's bringing it to the middle of the court. Now he's going to just take it right at Jones. Gets a screen to his left from Felt. Over to Campbell on the right-hand side. Gets a screen going towards the baseline. Campbell does. Shoots a little floater and makes the floater on the baseline. Gorcito now brings up the ball up the middle of the court. Picked up by Campbell on the top of the 1-3-1 zone. Over to Hill. Now who brings it to the middle? Oh, back over to Gorcito, back over to Hill. Back to Hernandez at the top, back to Hill. Now Hill's going to get a screen. And it's going to get foul on. It's either going to be number 3 or number 2. It's going to be Campbell or Humphreys. As another media timeout will be called here. 16-13, 8:51 to go. Falcons behind on Falcon Radio.
BGSU Gymnastics invites Illinois State, Central Michigan, and Centenary College to the Stro on Friday, February 28th at 8 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Seeley will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon Gymnastics returns home for a Stro Center matchup and a dual meet against Kent State and Wilberforce Sunday, March 2nd at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Sam Morris will have a recap of the match following its conclusion on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stro Center as the Ball State Cardinals lead 16-13 with 8:49 left on the clock. Holden, it has been a slow, methodical game for both teams, getting it down low to do most of the scoring. What does Bowling Green have to do to keep that up for the rest of this game?
I really think they need to pick up the efficiency right now. They're shooting only 33.3%, 25% from the line, or from 3, excuse me. Not great. Ball State's not shooting significantly better, but they are shooting 46.7. That is a noticeable difference there, and I would argue the difference right now in this 3-point game of 13-16 and through about, what would be the equivalent of a quarter of play. Yeah, it's pretty low scoring affair right now. I think defensively the Falcons are doing some really good things. I think they just need to make sure they're taking better shots. There's been some contested looks, and the Cardinals have had an easy time a couple of times picking off and blocking some of their attempts there. So
I'll agree with you. The Cardinals defense has done a very good job slowing up what is normally a high-powered offense for Bowling Green. As the ball is inbounded up to Gorcito at the top of the key, over now to Hernandez at the top of the key. Over to Sparks, missed pass, nobody touches it. Actually, Campbell is, no, that's going to be Butler who touched it last. He's going to stay here with the Cardinals on a missed pass and a missed opportunity for the Falcons to get it some.
Ball State will get away with one there, but
Gorcito will inbound right in front of the Bowling Green bench with Butler on him. He'll give it down low to Sparks, guarded by Marcus Johnson. Make a good move. He'll the big-to-big passing from Sparks to Pearson Jr. Wide open down on the opposite side block for an easy layup. Brentley Green will now bring it up the middle of the court.
Sort of looked like the Falcons just lost track of Pearson there, and an easy bucket for him.
Yeah, over to Derek Butler now on the right-hand side. Gets a screen from Exact. Butler off to John Humphrey. Humphrey up top to Butler. Butler with a deep three. Misses everything on that one. It will now be Ball State ball. Peyton Sparks will inbound the ball as Gorcito subs out for number 20, Joey Hart. As Ethan Britton Watts has the ball, bringing it up the middle of the court. Falcons in that 1-3-1 offense. Over to Hart at the top of the key. Now to Sparks at the top of the key. And now Hernandez in the corner for three. No good. Air ball. The Falcons looking to run off that. Braylon Green brings it up. Passes it to Marcus Johnson. Pump fake. Another pump fake. Over to DeJohn Humphrey. Takes it down low. Gets fouled. Now is heading to the line for two. That's going to be the first foul on Sparks.
And a nice job from the Falcons capitalizing on the air ball from the Cardinals there. Able to take it down the court, and though they haven't put any points up from that possession yet, hopefully able to add two here on the free throws.
As another media timeout would be taken here, Ball State leads Bowling Green 18-13 with 7:42 left in the first half.
BGSU Gymnastics heads to DeKalb for a battle with the Northern Illinois Huskies on Sunday, March 9th at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Sam Morris will have a recap available on bgfalconmedia.com. Guard Javante Campbell scored the game-winning layup in Falcon men's basketball's victory over Toledo on the Battle of I-75 on Friday night in a cap to his week that earned him this week's Falcon Media Sports Network Athlete of the Week award. After BG's loss to Kent State on Tuesday, Campbell put up 26 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists, following up the performance with 23 points against the Rockets in their one-point victory that earned him their first win in Savage Arena since 2021. The junior broke the single-season program record with 83 steals, surpassing DeMar Moore, who earned 82 in the 96-97 season. This has been Falcon Media Sports Network's Athlete of the Week.
And welcome back to the Stroh Center with a score of 18-13 as the Ball State Cardinals lead the Bowling Green Falcons with 7:42 left in the first half. Currently, Bowling Green will be going to the line for the first two free throw attempts of the game with DeJohn Humphrey going to the line. What do we got to do to see? What do we need to see from Bowling Green to continue this getting to the line?
Well, I think they need to put themselves into positions where they can actually drive in effectively, catch the Cardinals' defense out of position, and just give themselves those opportunities to, well, make a shot, or if they're not going to make it, draw that foul and have those chances at the line.
And the refs, to their, and maybe it's good or bad, they have been very letting the players play a lot. It's been very physical down low, but they've been letting them play and not really calling ticky-tack fouls, which can be seen as both a good and a bad thing. You don't want those light fouls called for the entirety of the game, but you would like fouls to be called fouls when they happen.
It's something that I feel like really plays to the strength of a player like Marcus Johnson, but when you've got athletic bigs like Sparks and Pearson on the other side, causes some problems.
Yes, as DeJohn Humphrey will hit the first free throw attempt. and gets ready to shoot his second. He will make it after it rolls around the rim and in. As Britton Watts will now bring the ball up with Campbell picking up full length, gets a screen from Watts. As Campbell falls back into that 1-3-1 zone. Another screen from Watts. Campbell picking up Britton. Sparks Jr. down low. Pearson Jr. loose ball, bodies flying everywhere. Pearson Jr. trying to get over there. We have a jump ball, which will go the way of the Falcons. And that is something you need to see if you're the Falcons. Get some turnovers, get extra possessions.
And who else getting the hand in there to make that steal but Javante Campbell. Number 2 has been it lately, and a huge turnover caused there by him for the Falcons.
He has such a knack for finding the ball in open spots to get just a tip to get it to another player for an open steal, or himself getting a steal. As he brings it up the court, down the middle, the Falcons offense sets up. Butler's going to go off 2 streams. Felt's going to get the ball. Give it to Butler now. Huge screen. They're going to call it offensive foul, a moving screen on Felt.
Really?
That one, he looked set to me. As Coach Simon asked for an explanation of what happened. Pearson Jr. is going to inbound the ball to Britton Watts, with Campbell picking him up full court. Over to Hernandez. Now back to Watts. Now over to Hart. As Campbell gets almost gets a steal there. He scared Britton Watts with his little jump at him. Back over to Britton Watts at the top of the key. Campbell guarding. Down to Sparks with Felt on him. They're going to call a foul on Campbell, swiping in there. And that's going to be his first foul of the game.
And it feels like something that's bound to come with the territory at some point or another. When you're so prolific in the steals, you're always reaching and getting those attempts at swiping the ball away. Some are going to go against you.
It's exactly what happens when you just have that many steals. You make those risky plays to get more steals, and you're going to get the occasional foul called. Now Hart gets a baseline jumper, no good. As Felt gets the rebound, gives it off to Marcus. Marcus passes up to Campbell. Corner 3, DeJohn Humphrey. Nothing but air. That's 2 air balls for the Cardinals and Falcons back to back. Over to Hart. Takes it back up to the top for Britton Jr. No, that's Hill. My apologies. Down low to Sparks. Misses the hook shot. Over to Campbell now. Or to Marcus Johnson. Over to Campbell now on the right-hand side. He's going to take one-on-one as he goes up and all the way around the rim and out. Back over to Britton Watts as Sparks gets that rebound.
Tough break there. Found everything on the rim but just did not go down.
Britton Watts gets a screen from Sparks. Over to Hart. Picked up by Campbell. Back over to Britton Watts. Up to Hill. Picked up by Campbell. Over to Hill. Britton Watts. Down low to Sparks. Nothing as Campbell goes straight up and makes that shot very hard. Over to Butler on the left-hand side. Butler's going to make a couple of moves. Over to Javante Campbell in the corner with the layup under the basket. 17-18, Bowling Green trails with 5:40 left in the first half.
Big-time basket for Campbell, but how about Jemai Felt? Back-to-back rebounds and then gets the turnover that sets up the Campbell bucket. Really important defensive impact from him there.
He's done a great job of defending down low without fouling. As the ball's up at Pearson Jr., down to Sparks, over to Campbell. There's the first layup of Sparks. As boos hang out in the crowd, as now Campbell gets it down low and is blocked by Hill. As Hart brings it up the court. He's going to take it down low. He's going to they're going to get a blocking foul on Marcus Johnson. And they will have to inbound it underneath the basket. Ball State retains with the score of 20-17 with 5 minutes left in the first half.
And as you'd expect, Todd Simon not too fond of that one, asking for an explanation, but it's not going to be what he wants to hear.
Ball State will have 2 subs, number 34, Ben Hendricks, and number 4, Juan Gorcito will sub in. Britton Watts will pass it in, way into the backcourt for Hill. Hill will bring it up with Campbell picking him up. He'll get a screen. Marcus Johnson. The ball will go flying over to Gorcito off a loose ball. Hill with Campbell picking him up. Pearson Jr. at the middle of the key. He'll take it low. He'll get a pass just too high for Gorcito in the corner. Turnover, Ball State. Bowling Green will take possession.
And a good job from the Bowling Green defense. They're standing strong and forcing the errant pass that ultimately is going to give them the ball back in this one possession game.
As Wilkins Jr. exact subs in for Jemai Felt, Javante Campbell will get the ball from Marcus Johnson. He'll bring it up middle of the court. Set up the screen, set up the offense on the left-hand side. It's getting picked up by Britton Watts. Over to Derek Butler, back over to Campbell. Campbell will get a screen from Wilkins Jr. exact. In the corner to DeJohn Humphrey. He'll lose the ball. And he will be out of bounds when he picks it back up. It will be Ball State ball with 4:32 remaining at 20-17. Ball State leads.
And now that we spy that clock, Foster, I got to say, it really looks like we're projecting for another game like they saw against Eastern Michigan. 17-20, pretty low score in the waning minutes of the first half.
Yes, as Hill gets it, makes it up to the middle of the court, over to Pearson Jr. on the left-hand side. Now over to Britton Watts on the left-hand side still. Up top to the middle, over to Gorsito. Down low to number 34, Ben Hendricks. Makes a bevy of moves, but will be called for a travel with Marcus Johnson guarding him. That's another turnover. That is 3 straight turnovers for both teams. 2 for Ball State, 1 for Bowling Green, as number 24, Mason Jones, will sub in for Pearson Jr. As Marcus Johnson is given the ball and passes it into Javante Campbell, who's going to bring it up in the middle of the court as they get their offense set up. He'll get a screen on the right-hand side. Campbell will from Marcus Johnson. He'll take it down low. He'll pass it out top to Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson will get a screen from Campbell. Marcus Johnson will ISO and take it down low. And we'll get a foul called on number 24, Mason Jones, on Marcus Johnson as he backs him down.
And what a challenge that has to be as a defender, trying to guard a player like Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson at his size, 6'7", but with a shooting ability from the perimeter like a guard, that's just a nightmare as a defender.
He's such a mismatch for anybody, as another media timeout will be taken here. The score is 20-17. Ball State leads with 3:50 left in the first half. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
BGSU Baseball takes on Tiffin for the home opener at Stiller Field on Tuesday, March 11th at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz and Noah Seeley will have the call at 2:40 for pregame and 3 p.m. for first pitch on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Ball State leads 20-17 with 3:50 left in the first half. Holden, it has been a slow game. Both teams trying to figure out how to get their offense started. How does Bowling Green really set it up to finish this last half strong?
Well, something we said earlier in the contest, as Marcus Johnson had the only 7 points to start the game, is that Bowling Green doesn't want to have to rely on running it just through Marcus Johnson. And now, as time has passed, Campbell, Javante Campbell, DeJohn Humphrey, and Wilkins Jr. exact all have some points. But I really think you've got to open up good looks for your players who you know can be the best scorers. And in particular, putting the ball in Marcus Johnson's hands is a recipe for more scoring, and has been all season.
Yes, he has been one of the best scorers for this Falcons team. As Falcons will inbound it, Campbell will inbound the ball down by the basket under their own side. As DeJohn Humphreys makes a move, and they're going to get it to. They'll have a 5-second violation out of a media timeout. And Todd Simon is not happy about that one. That's something that you set up.
That's just the kind of mental error that's got to be so frustrating as a coach and as a player. Super avoidable, but ultimately the Falcons will lose the ball.
As Britton Watts will get 2 screens, take a mid-range jumper, no good. Campbell will get not Campbell, that's Marcus Johnson will get the rebound and bring it up on the left-hand side. Pass over to John Humphrey on the right-hand side. He'll get a couple players to move, give it to Wilkins. Wilkins will get a screen over to Campbell, over to Humphreys, who will miss the 3 in the corner. Gorsito will get the rebound and bring it up over to Hill. Hill will pass back over to Gorsito, back over to 24. Mason Jones misses the layup, but gets his rebound, gets the layup to go. Johnson will inbound to Campbell, who will bring it up on the right-hand side. He's been picked up by Britton Watts. He's setting up the offense, gets it over to the middle of the court to Marcus Johnson. Picked up, high up there, as they will call a timeout by Bowling Green. As there's a little confusion on the offensive end, as they take this timeout, it's going to be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stick with it right here through it. The offense has struggled early here for the Falcons, not being able to get into their offensive set, not being able to really play the way they want to play, and Coach Simon is not happy about it. That 5-second violation at the baseline is a killer. Getting offensive rebounds for Ball State. Holden, what is the message that Todd's telling them right now?
I don't know what Simon's message is going to be exactly, but it's got to start with the positioning on the floor. So many of these possessions that have ended up empty for the Falcons have been situations where the ball handler loses, he gets stuck on an island, can't go anywhere with it. He doesn't have an open lane to pass, gathers or can't drive in this case, has to call the timeout. The Ball State defense is doing an incredible job putting pressure on them and causing them difficulty in the ball movement, but it seems that they're not spacing the floor well enough right now, frankly.
The off-ball movement has not been the greatest. As Braylon Green passes it in to Devontae Campbell. Campbell is going to go get a screen from Wilkins Jr. Exact. Exact will take it down, back up to Marcus Johnson, who will heave a deep three, and it'll be rebounded by number 1, Jamari Hill, over to Britton Watts on the left-hand side of the court. Watts will get 2 screens and throw an alley-oop pass. No good. Offensive rebound. No shot. It'll be an offensive rebound foul on the ground, as Ball State was going for a highlight reel play there with an alley-oop pass to number 1 Hill.
No kidding. Looked like a bit of a silencer there, but
that's momentum right there. They know they have everything clicking for themselves on the offensive end. And they were going to make sure the Falcons knew it.
But even despite that, it is still a close game, 17-22, only 5 points separating the two with just 2:27 left in this first half.
As Britton Watts gets ready to pass it in to Gorsito in the corner, it'll be blocked by Derek Butler. Derek Butler will bring it up on the right-hand side of the court. Over, down low to Jemai Felt, who will get it up and under for the layup. And it'll be Britton Watts bringing it up on the right-hand side of the court, towards the middle, over to Gorsito at the top. Gorsito will take it to the right-hand side. Back over to Hill. Hill will take it to the middle of the court and get met by Felt down low, who goes up strong and makes him miss the shot. Marcus Johnson will bring it up at the middle of the court. Marcus Johnson takes it down low, passes to Jemai Felt, who makes another layup, getting it down low to Felt, and there'll be a timeout by Ball State.
And huge momentum there for the Falcons, who prior were on around nearly a 5-minute scoring drought there.
And it's a 30-second timeout, so we'll stick right through it and talk about a momentum swing there for the Falcons, getting it down low, using their superior height with Felt and Marcus Johnson both on the court at the same time to get some easy layups down low.
Yeah, and that's really important for the Falcons, who prior to these 2 back-to-back buckets they've just scored, went from 5 minutes and 42 remaining to 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Being a little bit more of a math guy than our own Ben Korak, that's about 3:40 worth of time between scoring. But despite the pretty stifling defense from the Cardinals, the Falcons able to get back on the board there, cut the lead to just 1 with just under 2 minutes left.
That's right. It's 22-21 with 1:50 left to play. Falcons with 2 quick buckets from Jemai Felt, and the forces the Ball State Cardinals to take a quick 30-second timeout. Jemai Campbell will pick up full court on Britton's Watt as he brings up the court. He's going to get a screen from Pearson Jr., but Watts will, as Watts takes it to the middle of the court. Over to Pearson Jr., over to Hill. Hill will get a screen from Sparks. Over to Britton's Watts. Down low to the corner. Cito will miss. Derek Butler will get a rebound as he runs out down to Campbell. Campbell with the layup, and the Falcons will take the lead 23-22 with 1:23 left remaining in the first half.
And how about this momentum at the end of this half here for the Falcons? Huge points there.
As Pearson Jr. will pass it up over, and the ball will end in the hands of Jamari Hill. Hill to Watts. Gorsito. Oh, there'll be a foul called on Braylon Green on Gorsito in the corner. That will be Bowling Green's 6th foul. One more, and they will put Ball State in the bonus as Dejon Humphrey checks in for Braylon Green.
And worth noting here, Foster, this 23-22 score is the Falcons' first lead.
They've took a long time. And there'll be an offensive foul, a moving screen on Ball State. The Falcons will get the ball back here, and there will be sideline out of bounds for the Falcons.
And I got to say, this is really looking like a far cry from the last time these two teams met. At the half, when Bowling Green traveled to Muncie to play Ball State, the Cardinals led 42-26.
As Javante Campbell will get 2 screens, one from Felt and one from Johnson. We'll pass it off to Derek Butler, who'll get a screen from both Felt and Johnson again. Butler will get a screen going to his left from Felt. Butler will pass to John Humphreys, who will be run off the line to go up strong and blocked by Sparks. He'll get the ball to Gorsito. Gorsito will take it up the court. He'll give it to Hill. Back to Gorsito. Down low to Sparks, and it'll be fouled by Jemai Felt. That will be the 7th personal foul, and that'll send Sparks to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity with 37 seconds left with Bowling Green up 23-22.
And no hiding from that one for the Falcons. Pretty obvious there. Definitely the call, and Peyton Sparks will look to give Ball State the lead again going to the line here.
If there's anyone you would like to foul at the end of this quarter, it is Peyton Sparks, a 63% free throw shooter at the line for a 1-and-1. The first shot for Peyton Sparks is up, and it bounces off the front of the rim and in. The tie game 23-23 with 37.2 seconds remaining in the first half.
Members of the Falcon marching band here making some noise to throw off Sparks, but he's unrattled on the first take.
As the second shot is up, it is good off the front of the rim and in again. Campbell will get the ball from Marcus Johnson inbound. He will take the ball up right up the middle of the court, picked up by Brenton Watts. They'll set up the offense. They'll take a little time off the clock.
About 5 seconds between shot clock and game clock.
No need to rush here. They want to get one shot and make Ball State take a quick one. He'll get a screen from Marcus Johnson. Jamarcus Campbell will go down low and scoop and score up and under the layup.
Javante Campbell.
And there'll be a tough shot by Brenton Watts. No good. 3 seconds remaining on the clock as Dejon Humphrey, 3/4 court. No good, just off to the left. And that will end your first half of basketball. Bowling Green 25, Ball State 24. As they go into the halftime with the lead, you're listening to Falcon Radio.
BGSU Baseball continues their stint in Carbondale with Game 1 of 2 against the Southern Illinois Salukis on Sunday, March 1st at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Coyle Withrow will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town, because I love them. My second one would be read my book, because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee, because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
there, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU Baseball takes on the Southern Indiana Screamin' Eagles for the Saturday night cap of a 4-game series in Carbondale, Illinois. Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Seeley will have the recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
The Falcon baseball team will travel to take on Southern Indiana at 1 p.m. on Friday, February 28th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
BGSU Baseball caps off the weekend in Carbondale, Illinois against Southern Illinois on Sunday, March 2nd at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Cavalis will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU Baseball wraps up a 3-game series with the Ohio Bobcats on Sunday, March 8th at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network Chaz McNeil will have a recap available on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center for our halftime show. As the cheerleaders are celebrated during senior night, the Falcons lead 25-24 here at halftime, and the shooting for both teams has been rough. Holden, we talked about it. They're both struggling to find their shot today.
They definitely are, Foster. You look at the stats from the three-point line. Ball State shooting 20%, 2 from 10 in their attempts today. Bowling Green, even worse yet, 1 for 8, 12.5%. So not very effective from long distance for either team today.
No, and that's Bowling Green has done a good job of that their last couple games. Their 1-3-1 zone has made a lot of tough shots for their opponents, but they've been able to really find some open shots. But tonight, the Ball State defense has done a very good job of running Falcons off the line and forcing them to go down low to meet Sparks, who's been able to just contest very well. As the Ball State Cardinals have 4 blocks as a team already in the first half of play. But also, the Falcons defense has kept Jamari Hill off the scoring board. He has no points, 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. He does have 6 rebounds, so he's been doing other things in 2 blocks, but they've done a very good job. And that goes back to their last game against Eastern Michigan, where they kept Jalen Terry and Deshaun Nelson off the scoring as well, as we talked about in pregame. The number 1 and the number 3 scorers in the MAC had a trouble with the Falcons defense, and now they're doing that with the number 5 scorer in the MAC, keeping them off the scoring, and they're making other players step up and do the scoring as the Falcons defense causes havoc around today.
That's absolutely true, Foster. And not to mention that, but again, when you look at the last time these two teams met, Bowling Green had 26 in the first half. They've got 25 today, so they're right there in terms of that. And when you look at Ball State's scoring, they only have 24 compared to 42 last time. That's an 18-point difference. And that speaks directly to what we've talked about. The defense of the Falcons is unreal right now.
And one of the big things the last time that they both played is Ball State had 6 different players score 10 or more points. Peyton Sparks had 19. Mickey Pearson Jr. had 16, Corsito had 16, Hernandez had 14, Jamari Hill had 12, and Ethan Britton Watts had 10. They had spread the ball around a lot. Right now, there's only 4 players for the Cardinals who have scored overall. You have Pearson, Corsito, Sparks, and Jones, number 24, are the only scorers with 9, 5, 6, and 2. But it's not much better for the Falcons. Campbell has 10, Humphreys has 2, Johnson has 7, Exact has 2, and Felt with those 2 quick layups to help spark that lead-taking run for the Falcons has 4.
It does warrant consideration also to see how the second half looks in terms of scoring pace, because Bowling Green scored 43 in the second half, and Ball State scored 49 in the second half the last time the two teams met. So that day, it was very clearly a stronger offensive performance from both sides in the second half. But right now, the defense really is the name of the game, and you have to think that as the fatigue starts to set in, as the game drags on, especially with not the deepest roster on either side, you'd have to think that it's not going to be a scoring explosion.
No, it's going to be what team can really dig down deep and find the plays first. Bowling Green has had a shortened bench for the majority of the season since injuries have really gotten them to shorten up their bench. But at the same time, they've been able to do a good job of playing without fouling. Only 7 fouls as a team. Nobody in true foul trouble. There's only 2 players with 2 fouls. That's Felt and Bowling Green both have 2 fouls apiece. And you can say the same thing about Ball State. They only have 5 fouls as a team. Everyone on both sides have done a good job of playing without fouling and playing physical without fouling, and the refs have let them really play and not called fouls.
Yeah, it's certainly a game that's felt like it's just come down to the quality of shots that are being taken, because the defense is good in both directions, and it's not the kind of defense where they can get away with a lazy take from the arc or a ham-fisted attempt underneath the rim. They really have to make those good opportunities, and when they're not making those, they're not getting points and they're turning the ball over.
Yes, and a big thing for both teams is getting out and running. We saw it there near the end when Bowling Green would get a rebound and they'd get out and they'd kind of run the court faster than Ball State could get set up. They'd get a nice, easy layup down low. That's how Felt got his quick 4 points with 2 layups off of missed shots and running the court. So I'd expect the Falcons to try to keep that up-tempo offense going. They love to run fast. They love to get up and down the court quick, easy layups, make it really hard for Ball State to defend them and get set up into a defense that they know they can find a matchup they want to exploit.
That's definitely true. And with guys like Derek Butler and Javante Campbell, I'm looking at in particular, it's really, we've seen a couple sequences now where they've had a lot of success catching the Cardinals defense on that back foot, like you said, getting the defensive rebound and moving up the court quick to try and create those mismatches on defense, because when they're not doing that, the Cardinals have been largely stifling them. Again, we've seen them get caught on an island and lose the ball or have to take a timeout a number of times already just in the first half, and being able to catch them out of position helps to circumvent that for them.
Yes, and the Falcons will definitely try to keep up that offense going. But the defense, they also need to keep going. We talked about it when we got in here. Their defense has really shut down Ball State. Pearson's going 4 for 6 from the free, leading the team with 9 points. But other than that, nobody's really been able to do much scoring for either team. And that's going to be the biggest key for both teams. As the game comes to an end, as the legs start to get tired, who can get the stops down low, who can make the shots at the end of the quarters as this game gets ready to come out. We'll be back 25-24 halftime on Falcon Radio.
Falcon Baseball heads to Athens to kick off a 3-game series against Ohio on Friday, March 7th at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz will have the full recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
BGSU Baseball takes on the Ohio Bobcats for the second game of a two-game series on Saturday, March 2nd at 2 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Noah Sealy will have a recap available on BGFalconMedia.com. BGSU Baseball takes part in a midweek spring break matchup with the Dayton Flyers on Wednesday, March 5th at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Tyler Kavelitz will have a recap of the event on BGFalconMedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green leads 25-24 at halftime as the players come out of the locker rooms and get some shots up before halftime ends and the second quarter begins. We talked about it a little bit. Defense has been the name of the game for both teams so far, Holden. How does Bowling Green keep up that defense but turn it on the offensive side?
Well, something important that they've done that we didn't discuss yet on the defensive and offensive end is they're beating the Cardinals in both steals and blocks. The Falcons have 3 steals, one by Jemai Felt, one from Javante Campbell, and one from Dejon Humphrey. And they've only turned the ball over 5 times, whereas Ball State's turned it over one more time, and they don't have any steals in this contest right now. And that's a big part of why the Falcons are winning right now.
And that's huge. I mean, not turning the ball over, especially steals, live ball turnovers like that. Live ball turnovers like steals lead to fast break points, which the Falcons love to get out and run, so they're going to keep doing that all game if they can. But when you talk about turnovers, there's been a couple of different times. We saw it, we called it, where they tried to make a big pass, the Ball State Cardinals did, and it just went out of bounds, or it just kind of rolled off a fingertip, and they couldn't really control it because of the way the defense set up for Bowling Green. They got to keep that up, and they want to continue to extend their lead and take this win for the Falcons.
Absolutely. They need to keep up. They've started this game exactly like they need to be able to put it together, and they really need to finish here. This, I would argue, the biggest remaining game when you look at the rest of the schedule for the year. Obviously, there's going to be a bout with Western Michigan, but right now you just need to win the one in front of you. Every game is going to be the most important one, but winning today gets them one step closer to having a chance at Cleveland.
And the biggest thing for the Falcons is, you said it, only pay attention to the opponent at hand. You can't look ahead. You can't look towards anything else but the team you're playing in front of you. And for Bowling Green right now, that's Ball State, which they lead at 1 point, 25-24. As the second half is getting ready to start, the Falcons, Ball State Cardinals are about to go underway here as the halftime buzzer goes off in the Stroh Center. My name is Foster Ostai, along with Holden Ruck. Holden, it's been a good game. It's been a slow one, methodical for both teams. How much do you think that really plays in the second half?
I think it's going to continue to be the same thing. Like we said, it's inevitable to expect fatigue to set in a little bit with these guys, especially when you have a really small core group of players that are available to play. Across the Falcons starting lineup, 16, 14, 19, 18, 16 minutes, the vast majority of the game. The same with the Cardinals. We'll see what happens, but defense stands to be the key factor again.
As Ball State starts with the ball, attacking towards Zig Zone, the Bowling Green Falcons defending with their back to Ziggyville. It'll be Britton Watts at the top key, over to Gorsito on the right-hand side. Over to Hill on the top of the key. Guarded, top, closely. Down to Sparks down low, with Felt down low. Misses the layup, gets the rebound, goes back up, gets fouled, is going to the line for 2 shots. On an offensive rebound, That is not the way you want to start if you're Bowling Green, letting Sparks get down low, miss a shot, then get an offensive rebound and a foul on the shooting attempt.
It's definitely not. You've got to be able to get the rebound yourself, just take it away. Don't give them chances at that second opportunity to score.
His second chance opportunities are always the best ways to score, and sending Sparks to the line where he'll shoot 2. His first one will be good off the front of the rim, off the backboard and in. As we'll get Wilkins Jr. exact subbing in for Jemai Felt early in the first quarter, as the score is 25-25 with 19:31 left in the second half of play.
Definitely a spirited effort from a depleted Ziggyville because of break, but
as the second free throw is good, Exact will pass the ball in to Campbell. Campbell will bring the ball up the middle of the court, set up the offense. So he'll pass it over to Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson will get a screen by DeJohn Humphrey. He'll take it down low, and there'll be a jump ball called. It will stay with Bowling Green, as Campbell will be the one to pass it in underneath the basket as they get their play set up. As the Falcons get the ball in too. DeJohn Humphrey down low, back out to Campbell, who will go up between 2 and through and in. Oh, past Sparks. What an amazing layup to take the lead back, 27-26 with 19 left to play. Hill has the ball with DeJohn Humphreys guarding him. He'll make a couple of moves. He'll go down low. He'll pass it out to Pearson Jr., over to Gorsito. Down low to Sparks with Marcus Johnson guarding him, and he'll finish through the contact. Over. The ball will be inbounded to Campbell on the right-hand side. He'll take and put his head down, get fouled. He will be headed to the line for 2 now.
And how about this start to the second half for Javante Campbell? Getting that first basket for the Falcons to put him up 27, keep this a one-possession game, and now going to the line to hopefully add on more. Really strong scoring day from him, shooting 6 for 12, 12 points total. Not able to connect from 3 yet, but still a strong day from him so far.
Very strong day from him. He's been 4+ 20-point games in the last 4 games. As he's at the free throw line, he makes the first one with that wrapped hand, shooting on his shooting hand. So he gets ready to take his second free throw attempt. The score is tied 28-28 with 18:43 left in the second half. As Javante Campbell knocks them both down, the Falcons lead 29-28 with 18:43 left in the second half of play. Campbell will extend the defense, pick up Britton Watts all the way 3/4 courts. Now it's back to Campbell. It's down low to Sparks. Sparks will be fouled. No, he'll be called for a travel before the foul called on Marcus Johnson. What a lucky break for the Falcons, as Johnson got all arm there.
Definitely wasn't quite how Johnson drew it up, but certainly a break that the Falcons will take.
As Campbell will bring the ball up middle of the court. He'll pass it off to Butler on the left-hand side. He'll get a screen. As Marcus Johnson will get a screen from Javante Campbell. He'll pass. There'll be a foul called as they double-team Marcus Johnson down low on the block as he steps through the double team looking for a pass. They'll get a foul on Pearson Jr., his first of the game. The ball will be taken out underneath the basket with Campbell taking it out.
Another thing to keep watching as this continues, Jamari Hill for the Cardinals still scoreless.
As Johnson gets picked up by Jamari Hill, as Johnson goes in, misses the layup. Ball ends up in the hands of Gorsito, brings it up the middle of the court, passes over to Hill, down low to Sparks. Sparks will be picked up by Campbell. Campbell will force the ball to be turned over. Campbell has the ball running up the court. Butler in the corner. Butler hits the 3. That's his first 3 of the game.
And how about that sequence from the Falcons? Exactly what we talked about with the fast break. Wilkins Jr. exact able to catch Sparks' errant pass, and big-time bucket from Butler there.
And on the defensive end, Hill gets the ball down low, takes it right at Marcus Johnson, who tips the ball out of bounds. No fouls called. It will be an out of bounds for Ball State under the basket. Sparks has the ball, guarded by Johnson. What a spin move to get the ball down low and score a layup, 32-30 Bowling Green leading with 17:32 left in the second half.
Sparks looking like he might have wanted the and one there, but Falcons ball.
Exact will set a screen for Campbell. Campbell will now pass it down low. Oh, it'll be passed back out. Campbell will take a three, and he'll hit a three. You don't see that often from Campbell. 1-3 on the night for Campbell.
Marcus Johnson sort of smothered there and just bats it back to Campbell. Opens him up for the three, and he drains it.
Ball State with the ball. Gorsito at the top of the key. Down low to Sparks. Sparks guarded by Johnson. It'll be a kickball violation. Stays with Ball State. It'll be taken out under the basket.
And the Falcons extending now their largest lead all contest, 35-30, with 16:56 left in the second half.
As Britton Watts gets ready to pass the ball in, he's looking for an outlet. It'll be tipped by Wilkins Jr. Exact. Stays out of bounds. Ball State ball, as they will now inbound it from in front of their own bench, with Pearson Jr. inbounding it.
It really sticks out to me looking at how close the stats are. Almost identical rebounding and shooting percentage numbers.
Britton Watts with the three. He misses. Humphrey gets the rebound. He'll bring it up middle of the court. He'll pass it to Johnson. Johnson back to Humphreys. Humphreys in left corner to Butler. Butler put his head down. Jump a little fadeaway. Around the rim, no good. Rebounded by Sparks. Over to Gorsito. Gorsito brings it up the middle of the court. Picked up by Campbell. They'll call a foul on Campbell. It'll be a non-shooting foul, so the ball will be taken out under the rim.
And another one there that comes with the territory. Javante Campbell kind of smothering Gorzita there and unable to come up with it, but a pretty clear call for the officials.
And that was a good job by Gorzito to make the refs call that foul. As the ball is now in Hills, guarded by Campbell. And Campbell will get called for a second foul, back-to-back. That is 3 on Campbell now, as they're going to bring in Braylon Green to get him off the court, because you cannot have Javante Campbell with that many fouls that early in the second half.
No, there's just way too much time left, and as impactful of a defender as Javante Campbell is, as impactful as his steals are, you just can't risk that territory yet.
The ball's back with Hill, with Green guarding him. They'll call another foul now on Braylon Green, as the fans are not happy with that call as well. That is 3 straight foul calls on the Falcons.
Well, take what we said about the officials letting them play a little bit and throw it out. Not necessarily unwarranted on the Falcons, but 3 in a very short span.
3 in maybe 30 seconds of play, as the ball gets up back to Hill, as the Falcons are now in that 1-3-1 zone. Over to Hill on the top of the key, picked up by Dejon Humphreys. Humphrey down low to Sparks. Sparks will shoot a little fader. No good. Marcus Johnson corrals the rebound, and he'll bring it up the court. Over to Exact. Exact will be fouled by Hernandez on the fast break. That'll be a first media timeout, with Bowling Green leading 35-30 with 15:56 left in the first half. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
BGSU Women's Track heads to Ypsilanti, Michigan for the MAC Indoor Championship from Friday, February 28th through Saturday, March 1st. Falcon Media Sports Network's Holden Ruck will have a recap of the event on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU's tennis team will go and compete against Saginaw Valley State Monday, March 3rd at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Steven Scholden will recap the game on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green leads 35-30 with 15:56 left in the second half of basketball. The Falcons have came out and scored early and often, but are slowed down by some foul calls on the defensive end. What do they got to do to change that up?
Well, they've just got to clean it up. They've got to move with them, but, do their best to not foul, which is easier said than done, obviously. But at the end of the day, when you've got them driving in on you, you got to know, you got to be able to rely on your defense. When they're playing that kind of zone, the 1-3-1 with a Campbell or a quicker guard up top, you got to be able to rely on everybody to do their job so that, it's the point of the zone. If one of them falters, you've got other guys in position, and you definitely cannot give up a foul sequence like they just did. Only 7 seconds of game clock elapsed over those 3 back-to-back-to-back fouls for the Falcons, and they just can't have that, especially with the momentum that they have had now with their largest lead of the game, 35-30.
Yeah, you're right. And now DeJohn Humphrey will inbound the ball to Braylon Green. Green will have it in the middle of the court. He'll pass it over to Butler. Butler will take it to the rim and get blocked. Hill will come up limping for Ball State. That's not something you want to see if you're Ball State or any fan of basketball in general. Hill will get picked up by DeJohn Humphrey. He'll pass it over to Pearson Jr. Back over to Hill at the top of the key. Down to Sparks. Up top to Hill. Hill will shoot a 3, and he'll miss short. The rebound will come to Braylon Green, who will run it up the court. Over to Butler. Butler will shoot a 3, and he'll miss short. And it will be rebounded by Exact, but Exact will knock the ball out of bounds with a lot of arm contact. The Bowling Green bench wants a foul called, as Todd Simon is talking with the official. But Pearson will inbound it to Hill, as the ref still has conversations with Todd Simon. Hill will get picked up by Green at the top. Now picked up by Humphreys. He'll cut 2, but he'll get poked out, but it'll come right back to him. Pearsons will shoot a 3, and he'll miss short. Braylon Green will get the rebound and bring it up on the right-hand side. He'll be picked up by Gorsito. He'll pass down low to Marcus Johnson, who has Pearsons on him. He'll shoot the 2, in and out. Exact with the rebound. Back to Johnson in the corner. Marcus will shoot a 3. He'll hit it! Marcus Johnson, 3 off the offensive rebound from Wilkins Jr. Exact.
The crowd is loving that. 38-30 now, 8-point lead for the Falcons. And could not have come at a better time from Johnson.
Hill will get it. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez to Pearsons Jr. Jr. to Gorsito in the corner. He'll miss off the front of the rim. Exact will get the rebound. Exact to Humphreys. Humphreys will bring it up the court. And he'll slow it down. Let the players get back. Over to Johnson at the top of the key. Johnson waits for a screen from DeJohn Humphrey. Johnson takes it down low. Needs a pass. Kind of stuck down low. Nowhere to go. Timeout taken by Coach Simon. That's one of those things we talked about, getting stuck on an island and not having movement to pass the ball, as this timeout will actually lead to another media timeout. Bowling Green leads 38-30, 14:01 left in the first half. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
BG Women's Tennis takes on Loyola in Lake Nona, Florida on Tuesday, March 4th at noon. Catch the full recap from Falcon Media Sports Network's Stephen Sholden on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU women's tennis heads to Perrysburg to take on the University of Northwest Ohio Racers on Friday, February 28th at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Foster Rothschild will have a recap of the event at bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green leads 38-30 with 14:01 left in the second half. My name is Foster Rothstein. With me is Holden Rock. Holden, they've came out and they've scored early and often. They've had multiple second chance opportunities as well, and they've kept the defense, just the energy up on the defensive end. What have you seen from Bowling Green to start this half?
Well, first of all, it's obvious to say, but Bowling Green right now in the second half outscoring the Cardinals 13-6. I think that reflects on a strong performance on both sides of the court for them. But something really interesting to me, and we've talked about it as the game has progressed, and we talked about it in pregame. Jamari Hill right now leading the Cardinals in minutes with 25. The next closest being Gorosito's 23. He's 0 for 7 on field goal attempts, 0 for 4 from 3. He does have 7 rebounds and a block, so on the other phases of the game, he's certainly contributing off ball, but really astounding for a player who's averaged 16 points per game for the Cardinals this year. His next lowest scoring performance on the season coming with a 4-point performance when they played against Southern Miss, former home of BG coach Todd Simon, earlier in February. But just kind of astonishing from Hill.
As Bowling Green inbounds the ball off that timeout, Derek Butler get a screen from Marcus Johnson. He'll shoot a 3, get fouled, and will take and head to the line for three free throw attempts. And that's something, getting to the line, getting for 3, that's not something you want to see if you're Ball State sending Derek Butler to the line for 3 free throws.
And just nice movement from the Falcons, putting Butler in a position to make a take where the Cardinals have kind of little choice but to foul him. Not that they want to, but.
And the first free throw attempt by Derek Butler rattles in and out. So he gets set for the next one.
First missed free throw for the Falcons there.
The second one is good. Derek Butler, a career 70% free throw shooter. Misses the first one, makes the second one, goes back to the line. Because that was foul on a 3-point attempt, he will shoot his 3rd free throw here. And he makes that one, setting the lead at 40-30 for Bowling Green with 13:53 left in the second half. Falcons have a 10-point lead. As Hill brings up the ball, gets picked up by DeJohn Humphreys. Passes it up to Pearson Jr. Over to Hernandez. Hernandez in the middle of the lane. Over. A 3-point attempt by number 22. Birch is good.
A 3-point attempt for the Cardinals, which has been very scarce so far through this contest.
The ball is tipped into the hands of Birch as he gets blocked by Butler, but the offensive rebound is also missed, and it will stay with Ball State.
Cardinals running a little bit of a layup line there, but no basket to be had there for them.
As Jemai Felt will get ready to sub in.
And the inefficiency from 3-point line still plaguing the Cardinals. No shortage of 3-point attempts for them with 15, but only 3 made.
As the ball will get into number 34, Ben Hendricks, who will miss the layup.
Quite the elevation from Hendricks there, but not able to corral it.
It looked like they were going for an alley-oop play, but the pass was a little far out of his range to finish there. Braylon Green brings the ball up. And we'll get the offense set up. Pass it to Marcus Johnson. Johnson will set up, get the ball back to Green. Set a screen for Braylon Green. No, he'll get the ball. He'll shoot a deep 3 and makes it. Marcus Johnson from a step behind the line nails the 3. 43-33, 12:43 left. Falcons lead. Pearson's Jr. in the short corner. Up top to Birch. Over to Hill. Hill takes Butler on the drive. Passes down low to Hendricks. Hendricks back out to Pearson's Jr. Hill hit a 3.
Falcons wanted to travel there. The coach is very unhappy, but won't be called.
Braylon Green will bring it up. Picked up by Birch. Over to Butler. Butler gets a screen from Johnson. Butler will shoot the 3. In and out. everything but the finish all the way around the hoop, but no good. That's Hendricks. Hendricks will pass the ball to Pearson Jr., a little bit outside of his range. He controls it, though. Over to Birch. Birch picked up by down low to Hendricks. Hendricks makes the layup over Marcus Johnson.
Ball State starting to cut into that lead a little bit. Now only a 5-point game, 43-38, with 11:40 left in the half.
Exactly. They've made some really nice buckets, and the Falcons are kind of reeling right now. As Birch picks up Green, gets the ball loose, over to Wilkins Exact, who will miss the three. And Birch will come up with the layup. As now he'll get down to Hendricks. Hendricks, who makes the layup. A fast break.
The Falcons were just totally caught out of position there, and Ben Hendricks of the Cardinals just able to exploit that easily with his size. That 6'10" frame, light work for him.
Ben Hendricks ran the floor very well as Butler now has the ball. Down low to Marcus Johnson. Johnson faces up against Pearson Jr. He will get fouled on the floor. No shooting foul. 43-40. Bowling Green leads. Ball State has clawed their way back into this after the Falcons had a 10-point lead with 10:57 left as a media timeout is called. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
Women's golf heads to Albine, Texas for the West Texas Classic Monday, March 3rd and Tuesday, March 4th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Coyle Withrow will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Hi, I'm Lauren Hovey on the BGSU volleyball team, and these are my Falcon 4 off-day activities. My first one would be spend time with family and friends if they're in town because I love them. My second one would be read my book because it's relaxing. My third one would be go get coffee because who doesn't love coffee? And my fourth one would be go get groceries so I can make food for the week.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green leads 43-40. I'm Foster Rostay. With me is Holden Ruck. 10:57 left. As we just said, Bowling Green is leading. But I'm going to give you an update on another Falcons game going on. The Lady Falcons, the BGSU Lady Falcons basketball team, traveled to NIU to take on the Huskies. They're leading 54-40 run at the end of the third right now. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out as they're having a terrific season and are going dancing. They will be headed to Cleveland next week to play in the MAC basketball tournament.
A lot of exciting action in the world of Bowling Green athletics too. The hockey team with their final regular season game tonight at the Slater Family Ice Arena against Lake Superior State. The Ice Falcons looking to pick up 3 points to hopefully secure a home playoff series in the CCHA playoffs and make a push for that Mason Cup.
Yes, there are a lot of things are looking up for the Falcons as the Falcons lead 43-40 and are going to inbound the basketball underneath their own hoop. Derek Butler will be the inbounder for you as the offense looks to get back in a rhythm. Ball will be passed out to Jemai Felt, who will catch it, get back to Butler. Butler will pass it to Campbell at the top of the key. Campbell will wait for a screen from Felt. He'll take the screen from Felt. He'll get another screen from Felt. And he'll drive it in. And he'll finish the tough layup off the rim. Dances on the rim and falls in.
Big time bucket from Campbell there, breaking a 7-0 run over the last 2 minutes for the Cardinals.
Making it a 5-point game as Bowling Green tips the ball, but it's going to go off the Falcons and stay down low. That was a great play design by Ball State to get a rolling Hendricks, almost an open layup.
It feels like something that you would have expected them to try to force a little more early, with just the size mismatch that Hendricks has over most of the Falcons.
That's right, but there's only one Falcon that really can match up to him height-wise, and that is the player who's on him right now, Jahmai Felt. As the ball will go back off the Falcons, and now the Falcons bench, coaching staff, and even the Falcon faithful here all want that ball to be a Falcons ball. They'll say it went off Humphreys, though. And now they're going to foul on Humphrey. Up top, leaning on number 3, Jeremiah Hernandez. Pearson Jr. with the wide open 3 off the back of the rim. Felt grabs the rebound, gets it off to Butler. Butler bring it down the court on the left-hand side. Over to Campbell. Campbell will look to make a move. Let the offense get set. He'll get a screen. He'll go towards the right side. He'll get another screen. It'll get tipped. He'll get another screen from Felt. He'll pass it off to Butler. Butler back to Campbell. 8 seconds left on the clock. Campbell gets a screen from Felt. Campbell will shoot the 3. He'll miss off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Hendricks. Hendricks runs the floor. Ball to Hernandez. Over to Birch. Ball up top to Hill. Picked up by Humphrey. Down low to Hernandez. Hernandez takes the free throw line jumper. Rebounded by Hernandez. Back to Hill. Over to Hernandez. Down low to Pearsons. Pearson's picked up by Felt. Down low to Hill. Hill will shoot the fadeaway. Blocked by Humphrey. As Campbell will bring it up the court. Campbell will get a screen by Felt. He'll get the ball up top to Butler. Butler for 3. Off the rim. Off the side of the backboard. And to Hendricks. Hendricks will get it up as Pearsons will shoot the 3. And he'll hit. The ball will be inbounded to Butler, who will then give it off to Campbell. Campbell will bring it up in the middle of the court. 45-43, 8:37 left. Falcons lead by 2. Campbell set up the offense. He'll get a screen going to his left. No, he'll go to his right. Take a bump from Birch. He'll get it up top to Humphrey. Humphrey calls for a screen from Felt. He'll go to his left. He'll shoot a fadeaway jumper. Rebounded by Felt between 2. Up, and a reverse layup is good by Jahmai Felt.
What a move there from Felt.
Pearsons will get the ball at the top of the key. Looks to take a 3, pass it away to Butch. Butch to Hill. Hill picked up by Humphrey. Humphrey, Hill down low. Up top to Hernandez. Hernandez with the 3. Off the back of the iron. In the hands of Campbell. Campbell will bring it up. He'll get a screen from Butler. Butler will pop. Butler will take it. Butler will go down into the middle of the paint. He'll go up. No good with the layup from Butler. Hill will pass the ball down to Pearsons. Pearsons will get, there'll be a body block on Humphrey.
Humphrey can't believe it.
That will be Humphrey's 4th foul of the game. As another media timeout we've taken, Bowling Green leads 47-43 with 7:30 remaining. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
BGSU women's basketball hosts the Kent State Golden Flashes on Wednesday, March 5th. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp will be on the call at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BG Women's Basketball travels to Northern Illinois to face the Huskies on Saturday, March 1st at 2 p.m. Listen to Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer on WBGU 88.1 FM starting at 1:45.
Welcome back to the Stro. 47-43. Bowling Green leads with 7:30 remaining. I'm Foster Ronsai. Along with me is Holden Ruck. Holden, the Cardinals have started to climb their way back into this game, but Bowling Green's laid easy with them shot for shot. How does Bowling Green, with this last 7:30 remaining, extend the lead for themselves?
Well, I've got to be honest. I don't know necessarily that they're going to be able to extend it with the way that Ball State has been playing, but they don't have to extend their lead so much as maintain it. And I think they're absolutely able to do that if they're able to keep playing the kind of defense they are. They're playing good enough defense that they're pacing very nearly the same as the Cardinals. Both teams 1 for 5 in their last 5 field goal attempts, and certainly not the kind of efficiency offensively that a Falcons fan would like to see. But if you're able to maintain that, go even shot for shot with Ball State, that puts you right there. And even in some of these sequences where both teams are missing, it's chewing up a lot of the remaining 7.5 minutes.
Yes, as the Ball State Cardinals will inbound the ball. Brits Watts will have the ball. Hernandez in the corner. Up to Pearsons Jr. Over to Watts. Over to Butch. Down low to Sparks. Sparks picked up by Marcus Johnson. Up top to Hernandez. Hernandez will fake the 3. Over to Brits Watts. He'll take the 3. Off the front of the rim. No good. Pearson Jr. tries to get the rebound. So Sparks will get it. Blocked by Felt. And the loose ball will come over to Braylon Green. Braylon Green will run it up the right side of the court. Over to Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson will fake a pass. He's going to get fouled instantly by Butch. That's
What effort there on the defensive end from the Falcons.
And that's great speeding up the court off the block by the Falcons as well to get a mismatch instantly with Butch on Marcus Johnson and forcing a foul. The ball's inbounded to Campbell. Campbell gets a screen from Felt. Picked up by Britton's Watts. Campbell will take the ball up to the middle of the court. He'll get a screen going to his right by Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson has the ball on the left-hand side. Picked up by Pearson Jr. Take the ball to the middle of the lane. Shoots the floater and makes it through contact. Marcus Johnson makes the floater.
How can't he score? You genuinely have to start asking.
Pearson Jr. with the ball up top. Looks to get the ball down low to Sparks, can't. Over to Birch. Campbell picks up Birch. Down low to Sparks. Sparks faces up with Jemai Felt in front of him. Look to go down low. Pass it out to Pearson Jr. Pearson Jr. will shoot the 3 off the front of the rim. Jemai Felt will corral the rebound off to Marcus Johnson. Johnson will bring it up the middle of the court. He'll get a screen from Felt. Over to Humphrey. Humphrey will take the deep 3 off the front of the rim. No good. As the Falcons will allow hustle back. As Ball State runs the ball up the court. Butch gets a free throw. Gets a shot up. No good. Layup. Jemai Felt with the rebound. Campbell on the left-hand side. Lets the rest of the Falcons get up the floor to set up the offense. Brings the ball to the middle of the court. Picked up by Brits Watts. Campbell taking some time off the clock. Goes to his left. Down to Felt. Easy layup for Jemai Felt off the feed from Javante Campbell. As Butch will bring up the ball through the court. Over to Brits Watts. Picked up by Humphrey. Back to the top. Back over to Brits Watts. Down low to Sparks. Sparks picked up by Campbell. Wide open under the basket is Hernandez. That's good ball vision, court vision by Sparks to find the wide open player.
Totally missed by the Falcons there. An easy one for the Cardinals. Cuts the lead to just 6.
55-45. 4:48 remaining in the second half. Campbell goes down low, goes up, and one opportunity for Campbell.
And what a huge response there by the Falcons. Giving up a wide open basket, but quickly finding a good position, gets the bucket, and maybe we'll get one more to go with it.
And Javante Campbell now has 21 points. That is 5 straight games with 20 or more points for Campbell. He has really picked it up on the offensive end as he goes to finish the and one opportunity.
And Campbell, who's made both of his free throws today with the chance to make it a 3-possession game here with only 4:43 left, the Falcons are really closing in on what will be their 3rd straight victory.
And we have a couple of subs for the Falcons. Marcus Johnson will go out, and so will DeJohn Humphrey, as Wilkins Jr. exact and Derek Butler will sub in for them. As Javante Campbell nails his free throw attempt, the ball will be inbounded to Birch. Birch will bring it up the middle of the court, picked up by Green. The Falcons set up in that 1-3-1 zone. Get it over to Hernandez. Hernandez picked up by Campbell. Over to Hill. Hill now picked up by Campbell as they switch. Over to the middle and Sparks. Sparks back to Hill. Hill over to Birch. Down low to Sparks. Tipped by Jemai Felt. And there's a foul as Braylon Green sprints down the court as Birch will get called for the foul. What a great tip as they pass the ball down low to Sparks by Jemai Felt.
Falcons now over the last 4 minutes and 24 seconds, a 9-2 run, also making 3 out of their last 4 field goal attempts. Just really, really strong momentum in the favor of the Falcons as they look to close this one out with Braylon Green at the line.
And the Falcons are now in the bonus opportunity. 1-1 for Braylon Green right now, as he makes the first one and will get a second free throw opportunity. That means Falcons will be shooting free throws the rest of the game, at least at 1-1 until they get into the double bonus where they take 2 automatically.
The Falcons looking to extend their largest lead of the game here.
Off the front of the rim. Wilkins Jr. exact with the rebound, though. Offensive rebound by the Falcons off a missed free throw. Campbell at the top gets the offense set up. Looking to take some time off the clock. Jemai Felt comes up to set a screen. Campbell taking it down low. Out to exact. He takes it down low. He's going to go up and under for the layup. Falcons with an offensive rebound off a free throw leads to 2 points.
And what a big-time rebound there by Jemai Felt, giving them the chance to get those points.
The ball at Hill. Hill picked up by Campbell. Now over to Birch. Birch picked up by Campbell. Over to Exact. Up top to Birch. Back over to Hill. Sparks gets fouled going down low by, it's either going to be Exact or Jemai Felt. They're going to give it to Felt. As off that foul call, they will go into another media timeout. Bowling Green leads 57-45 with 3:39 left in the second half. You're listening to Falcon Radio.
Falcon women's basketball heads up to Ypsilanti for a battle with the Eastern Michigan Eagles on Saturday, March 8th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer for the call at 1:45 for pregame and 2 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU softball heads to Conway, South Carolina to take on the Yukon Huskies on Friday, February 28th at 1:30 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have the recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Falcon softball travels to take on IU-ND on Saturday, March 8 at 5 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network's Henry Costco will have a recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. 57-45, Bowling Green leads with 3:39 left in the second half. I'm Foster Rosti. Along with me is Holden Ruck Holden, that foul that got called on Jemai, that's his 4th, who's having a very solid day. 10 rebounds, 8 points, 4 for 4 from the field with a steal and a block. He's been doing a little of everything tonight. What have you seen that's really stuck out?
Yeah, I think it's been kind of a quiet performance. And it's like you look at the stat sheet and it's easy to see he leads in rebounds. Perfect shooting tonight, 4 for 4 with his 8 points. But his impact is even bigger than the stat sheet makes it seem. Just the critical moments there. That second opportunity off of the missed free throw with the offensive rebound, giving BG the chance to build the most momentum they've had all game. A 6-0 run in the last minute 21, 12-2 in the last 5 minutes, 4 of their last 5 field goals. Huge momentum for the Falcons.
And now the Cardinals are at the line for 1-and-1 opportunities. With Sparks at the line, he nails his first free throw.
And unsurprisingly, Jemai Felt currently out of the game, definitely nearing foul trouble.
As Sparks gets ready for his second free throw, he makes both of them. Sparks, normally a 60% free throw shooter, 6 for 6 from the line today.
Strong day for him as he'll sub out for number 34, the big man, Ben Hendricks.
As Campbell gets the ball, he's going to pass it into Derek Butler. Ball State in a bit of a full court press, picking up 3/4 court with 3:34 remaining. Campbell has the ball on the left side, picked up by Birch. Campbell in the middle of the court. They're going to call a foul on Birch. That's going to send Campbell to the line as Birch way out on the logo, the little Bowling Green logo at mid-center court, gets called for a foul. Those type of fouls are not ones you like to see if you're a head coach away from the basket, not shooting, now sending the Falcons to the line for free throws. 1-and-1 opportunity. Campbell at the line. Campbell gets himself set. He takes the first one. Off the front of the rim, a couple of bounces and in.
It's about the first tip off the rim for the Falcons. It's gone in their favor and couldn't come at a much better time here. Now leading by 11 with just 3:25 left to go.
Campbell gets set up for the second free throw. Goes through his routine. Nails the second one. Hill will inbound it, and he'll get it right back. It's Hendricks sprints down the court. Hill at the top of the key, guarded by Campbell. Over to Birch, back over to Hill. To number 24, Mason Jones, who subbed in. Hill will get down low, and it'll be stolen by Campbell. Campbell will slow the tempo, bring it up the court. As he crosses center court, Campbell will have a mismatch on him. Mason Jones is out on an island guarding Javante Campbell. He takes some time off the clock. Bowling Green leads 59-47 with 2:45 left to play. Campbell makes his move. Drives down low. Misses the layup. Rebounded by Birch. Birch takes it up the court. Picked up by Butler. Butler with a quick foul as the Cardinals get out and run. This will send Birch to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity as the Cardinals will get 2 subs in. Number 33, Hernandez will sub in for Hill, and who else?
Number 34, Ben Hendricks coming back in the game?
Yes, he did. Couldn't find him. I don't know how I couldn't find him. He's one of the tallest players on the court right now. Ben Hendricks, the 6'10" center, subs in for Peyton Sparks. Birch at the line. Misses the first one. Derek Butler with the rebound.
And really a nice break for the Falcons there, who didn't come away with points on the last possession, but 8, a sixth of the remaining time in the entire game. Now only 2:25 left.
Campbell at the middle of the court with Birch guarding him. Campbell taking plenty of time off the clock to get the offense set up and hold on to the lead. Exact will send him a screen. He'll reject it. He'll go to the corner. Butler in the corner. He'll shoot the 3. Butler off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Birch. Birch will run it up. Hernandez gets the ball on the left-hand side. Back to Birch. Birch to Mason. Down to Hernandez. Up to Moncito. He'll shoot the 3. He'll hit it from deep. And a timeout will be taken by Ball State. That'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll talk right through you, right here with you.
And that's one they absolutely had to have, really, the Cardinals. That three-pointer breaking it, quite the drought for them. Still 1 for 4 in their last 4 attempts from 3, but finally getting back on the board. Important now, still a 9-point game. Not a great position to be in if you're Ball State. But even so, Your last point came with 3 minutes and 43 seconds left off of a Peyton Sparks free throw. And now, with only 1:54, it's crunch time.
It is crunch time. Under 2 minutes to play. Bowling Green leads 59-50, 1:53 to play. Bowling Green's going to have the ball coming out of this timeout. They're going to have to get some good baskets while milking some time off the clock. There's plenty of time left for Ball State to make a little bit of a comeback. If you're Bowling Green, you got to get through your plays and find good open shots.
The advantage here for the Falcons, obviously leading. You don't need to be perfect. You need to trade a couple baskets or a couple stops, and they should be able to come away with a win this one. But I'm sure they'd rather just take care of business on both ends, get it done. But only 1:53 left, certainly a strong position for the Falcons looking to close it out here.
As Ball State sets up in a full court press, Bowling Green sets up in a little bit of an interesting press breaker. All 5 players out of bounds to start it. The ball gets inbounded to Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson is going to take it up, pass it to Derek Butler. Butler's going to bring it up the court. He's going to bring it back out and give it to Campbell at the top of the key. Now he'll slow it down, take some time off the clock, and let the offense get ready and set.
I like what the Cardinals were trying to do there. Head coach Michael Lewis, certainly a good idea on the full court press, but
Campbell takes it all the way in for the layup. Over Birch, they roll it in, back to Birch. Birch picked up by Campbell. Campbell gets screened. Birch takes it all the way down low, misses the layup. Rebound, Wilkins Jr. exact, over to Marcus Johnson, back to Campbell. Campbell brings it up, middle of the court. 61-50, 1:06 to play for the Falcons. The double team comes at Campbell, over to Humphrey. Humphrey gets double teamed. They're going to call a timeout as Humphrey kind of got stuck in a bad position as the double team comes.
And Foster, it felt like they waited a really long time there to approach on the ball.
They did take a little bit too much time, I would think. In that situation, when you miss a layup like you did, you need to get right into that trap to maybe get a quick turnover or to force a timeout earlier from the Falcons.
And I mean, you look at it now, you've got a minute left, you're down 11 points. If the Falcons are able to put together one more possession, even without a basket, where they take that 30 seconds, that's about the game there.
I tell you, the Falcons are going to come out, they're going to run through their offense, and it's going to be a slow, methodical offense the Falcons are going to run. 18 seconds on the shot clock for the Falcons, meaning they can run off, I'd say about 15 or 16 for the shot clock, get it under a minute to play because there is just 1 minute on the clock as the Falcons lead 61-50 in the Stro.
And really the important thing in that is not only taking the time off the clock, but you don't want to take all 18 of the shot clock and not come away with an attempt. Try to get a good look on the process. If there's something there and it's only 6 seconds, then fine.
Butler will inbound it to Marcus Johnson. Marcus Johnson getting picked up by Hernandez. Hernandez all the way out at the logo in center court. As Johnson makes a couple of moves. Now he's going to take it down low. Go to Exact. Exact fumbles the ball. As Hernandez now fumbles the ball. Loose ball over to Gorsito. Gorsito, he's going to take a deep 3 off the front of the rim. Exact gets that rebound. Over to Butler with 36 seconds remaining on the clock. The Falcons are going to dribble this one out. 3 straight wins for the Falcons here as they take a 61-50 lead going with 14 seconds on the shot clock. And they dribble it out. Butler has the ball right now in front of Coach Todd Simon. Picked up by Hart as he's going to wait for the shot clock to expire. 8.8 seconds remaining, 61-50. Bowling Green leads.
And what a big-time win to be able to take here for this team. It's not stamped yet, but you look at the season they've had, the trials with the lack of health on this team, and to now be in position where you still completely control your own destiny for the MAC tournament when, 2 weeks ago, we thought this season was basically over for this team.
As Birch finishes a layup, it'll be 61-52. Bowling Green Falcons will leave this game with a victory as the refs kind of separate a couple players here at the end of the game as Butler and Birch have some words to say to each other. We'll be right back as you listen to Falcon Media with our post-game show on Falcon Radio.
BGSU softball travels to Wisconsin to take on the Badgers on March 2nd at 10 a.m. in the first of a doubleheader. Catch the recap by Falcon Media Sports Network's Carter Leonard on bgfalconmedia.com.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune in to WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Tuesday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com. Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center with the Bowling Green victory, 61-52 over the Ball State Cardinals. I'm Foster Rostai. With me is Holden Ruck. Holden, Falcons now stringing three straight victories for the Falcons. What did you see that you really liked for the Falcons today?
Well, we talked about it in pregame, and we saw exactly what we were hoping to see from the Falcons. That defense holding Ball State to just 52 points, 33.9% shooting from field goal, only 6 from 23 from three. That's 26.1%. I mean, just really, really strong defense from them, and in particular being able to beat them in the turnover game and the steals game. Huge for the Falcons.
And even more important, Jamari Hill, the number 5 scorer in all of MAC play, held to 0 points today against the Falcons in 34 minutes of game time. They have had a just unbelievable defense these last couple of games if you're the Falcons. And I think our Falcon player of the game, to no surprise, Javante Campbell, 26 points, 10 of 18 from the field. He hit a 3, was 5 for 5 from the free throw line, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Just an all-around great game from him, again, as he makes his mark on the Falcons.
And it's really something that we're not that surprised to see at this point. You look at the rivalry game in Savage Arena against Toledo, and Javante Campbell couldn't have come up bigger in that game, even hitting that game winner, as we all know. Really signature performance for him, but now today, once again showing that he's a guy that can play with the best of them and really put this team not on his back, because it was a strong team performance overall, but really show that he can be the guy. And again, 26 points, 10 for 18 shooting, perfect from the free throw line, 3 assists, 3 steals. I mean, he's doing it all, and the Falcons are pretty hot right now.
Yes, they are. They have won 3 straight, as we just said. And it wasn't just him. It wasn't just Campbell. Marcus Johnson had 15 on 6 of 11 from the field and 3 of 5 from 3. 4 rebounds and an assist. And Jamai Felt, 8 points, 4 for 4 from the field, 10 rebounds, a block and a steal. He had a great game today. It's just an all-around great win for the Falcons, who have been stacking wins down the stretch, which is the biggest time to stack all these wins if you want to get and stamp your ticket to Cleveland. As we wrap up here, I'd like to thank everyone who's made this possible. Kevin back in the studio, Carl, our academic advisor, Holden for being here with me, Lucas and Tyler, both of our student advisors, and everyone who's made possible BG Falcon Media.
I want to add on to that, Kevin Hutchinson, our board operator in the studio, doing his first solo board operation, so we appreciate you pressing all the buttons, keeping us on the air. And a special shout out as well to Tyler Kavlitz and Artie Abrega, who are our primary men's basketball beats, changing their roles for today and giving Foster and I the opportunity to broadcast. So shout out to you guys. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you, everyone who's made this possible. You've been listening to Falcon Radio as the Falcons win 61-52 over the Ball State Cardinals. Have a great day, everybody.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.